Hey guys, it's editing Sophia here. As you probably already realized, this episode has no video with it. Pretty much, we touch on this a little later, but we recorded this at a different location than usual. And as a result, the lighting was just really bad and it kept flickering and stuff, and it looked really bad on camera. And there was nothing in this video that, needs visuals. We do reference a poster a couple times, but nothing important, and we didn't see any reason why we couldn't just release the audio instead, without the distracting lighting. And it's still a really fun episode. We really liked making it. We hope you guys like it. But I just want to stop by and explain why there's no video this week. And yeah, enjoy the episode.
Alright guys, welcome back to We Listen to This, the podcast by two girls who love to listen to themselves talk about themselves. I'm Kirsten.
And I'm Sophia.
And we have quite the episode for you today.
Yes. We're at Kirsten's family's cabin.
It's not our cabin. We rented out a cabin.
Go there? In Nebraska.
We're
right now.
We're in a random state park in Nebraska.
Random. We just showed up here, guys.
Because my family, it's like our Christmas tradition in a sense that we get a cabin every year, the week after Christmas. But we couldn't, my brother got the flu this year, so we couldn't do that. So we're doing it this weekend, and I got to bring a friend along, so I picked Sophia. So we're going to try and do a podcast episode.
Yeah. We're also having our first sleepover night. We're going to be real friends.
Our first sleepover, actually, and first family vacation. With each other. So
while we don't have our normal backdrop, which actually would be quite fitting for this, I did bring from home this nice poster of One Direction that's behind us, which is a not-so-subtle hint at what today's episode is about. First off, I feel like I need to explain why I own this poster in 2026.
Yes.
I'll talk more about it later, but my friend Grace and I, shout out to Grace.
Hi, Grace.
We originally wanted her on this episode, however we haven't been able to figure out how to get mics that work for multiple people, but hopefully
maybe we'll do another thing like this.
Yeah. Anyways, we are both One Direction fans, and we especially were around our freshman sophomore years of high school. And for Christmas, my sophomore year, as a gag gift, she got me this nice poster of them before any of them were attractive at all.
Can't see super well, but
I'll show a zoomed in more photo.
They're not. I do apologize. They're not in the order of importance like they are.
Yeah, Kirsten ordered them.
But
it's just random chaos.
Yeah. So I apologize for that. I know that it's really important to you guys. But...
and if you couldn't figure out by now, and some reason didn't read the title, this episode is going to be me teaching Kirsten and you, if you want, about One Direction.
Yeah, the main reason we decided to do a One Direction podcast now is because...
Literally, my first heading is, why are we talking about One Direction in 2026? Stop stealing my thunder.
I'm sorry. Well, anyways, by the time this episode has come out, because I know Harry put out a single. Harry Styles had put out a single, and I think, from what you've told me, a lot of the other members of One Direction are also planning on releasing singles pretty soon.
I forget how long it is, so it might be over by the time this is actually released, but Zayn has a residency, that's the word.
What does that mean?
It just means instead of bothering to tour, you make people come to you.
Oh, that sounds stupid.
It's like how Harry's doing 30 nights in Madison Square Garden on his next tour, which is really dumb, but we'll get to that. Anywho, he's doing a residency in Las Vegas, which is a thing a lot of people do. And during the first night of his residency, he teased that a new album's coming out soon. Niles teased new music during an interview with People, and what you have probably most likely heard of, Harry announced a new album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, which is a title you could name an album.
Honestly, that whole entire album is...
It's giving minimum effort, but we'll get to it.
Yes. We've got an agenda today.
Yeah.
Folks.
And his first single of that album came out a couple days ago for us, but the 23rd for whenever you're watching this. Also on the 23rd, Louis' third album, How Did We Get Here, came out. Additionally, I am of the belief that boy bands are going to make a comeback in 2026.
Let's hope so.
You know why? 2025 was already setting the stage for it. Netflix had Building the Band come out in, like, I want to say July. It was June or July? I think July.
I don't remember, but yeah.
Simon Cowell, the next act, came out in December, in which he forms another boy band. And Building the Band, several boy bands are formed. Now, the next act one, do I think that boy band's going anywhere? Probably not, but you know, we have options.
Yeah,
we just need one to blow up. My vote is obviously for Midnight Till Morning, if you've watched our previous episodes.
Yes.
Similarly, in 2026, BTS is touring again. They're done being in, like, the military and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, they had mandatory military service they had to do, which I just find really funny. I'm like, they couldn't get out of that for being, like, celebrities, but okay. And I will say, I don't listen to K-pop. I feel like it's a different group that listens to Eastern and Western boy bands, but I thought it was of note because it's, like, a big group.
I feel like that's valid.
And there's the whole thing on Instagram of, like, we're gonna live like it's 2016 this year, yeah?
I've heard that too. I've also seen a lot of things about, like, talking about how white boys need to get back in the garage and make white boy music or whatever. And honestly, I agree.
We need white boy music back.
I think start forming your garage bands and just do, I don't know.
But living like 2016. Well, do you know when One Direction's last televised performance was?
Was it 2016?
Nope, 2015.
Okay.
But it was on New Year's Eve at Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve. And so it was January 31st, 2015. It was close enough to 2016. Point is, we've been waiting for the next big boy band since 2016.
So for 10 years.
It's time!
Yes.
So, I have a brief overview of the members, if you'd like.
This is your show.
Yeah, I mean, this is just real quick because I want to mainly talk about the music. But this is kind of like they say they strayed away from, like, the typical boy band, like, oh, I'm the bad boy and I'm this one. They didn't really, though.
No, I feel like, okay, wait, can I guess?
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like Niall's kind of like your, like, golden retriever, like, happy guy. Zayn's definitely the bad boy, I think.
I'll tell you all of them when you're done.
Harry's, like, the golden child, obviously. Honestly, I don't really know about these two.
Louis and Liam.
They're just kind of like there. They look like brothers to me.
If you don't know, the reason I didn't mention Liam before now is he sadly passed away 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably of note. So the members, Zayn, because he has black hair, is obviously the edgy one.
Doesn't he have, like, is he the only one in this picture with earrings, too? You can't see Harry's ears.
So, yeah, but he doesn't have earrings. So I think so. So he's, like, mysterious and quiet and angsty.
Yeah,
he's so angsty.
He does that thing where he, like, pulls, like, one strand of his hair in front of his face.
Yeah.
Which is, like, bad boy core or whatever.
Oh, yes. Harry's, like, really cheeky and fun and, like, most people's favorite and low-key a womanizer. That was my note. Okay, but in interviews he'd always be like, I don't know why people say that. I'm really not. It's like, but you are, though. Like, I'm not saying you should shame people for having a lot of partners. I am saying, like, it is a fact that he had a lot of partners. Oh, also, I will say, I'm probably not the best person to be getting some of this information from, as we were in, like, 2nd grade when they were popular for the first time.
No, I think 2nd grade he was pretty credible.
Yeah, no. Well, their first album came out in 2011. Let's see. We were in preschool then.
Oh.
However, I became quite obsessed in middle school and high school. And I used my sources, of course. I looked at Wikipedia, so, like, don't worry. This is all trustworthy. Anywho, Niall, for him I wrote down Irish, blonde.
I guess.
And likes food a lot.
I feel like likes food a lot is a big one.
No, literally, because, like, in fan fictions, people would be like, obviously everyone's in love with Harry, and then Niall just, like, walks by with, like, tacos. Like, that's his whole role.
Sense, honestly. I can see that.
Yeah, and, I mean, his thing, is pretty much just being Irish and the only blonde one.
Yeah.
Louis, like, really sarcastic. Hobbies include flipping people off a lot. He's just kind of, like, the funny one.
Yeah.
Liam was, like, the responsible, leadery one. I thought he was the oldest. Louis is the oldest. Which is interesting.
Okay. Sorry, I keep looking at this picture. I just hate, like, all of these look like respectable, like, man outfits, kind of. Like,
yes.
Okay. You know. But the shirt, like...
Louis looks like he's wearing his mother's shirt and shoes.
I just can't get over... I just
Which
look
is
over
fine.
and, like, usually when you
It's
bend
just
shirts,
a choice.
you don't really see that much collarbone, and I'm just not used to it quite yet, you know?
You know, he has a nice collarbone. Good for him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
Liam was like the responsible one. He was kind of leadery, not as much on stage, more off stage.
Yeah.
Louis was like the main like hype guy on stage.
I could see that.
And I heard he was low-key kind of boring.
Louis was?
Liam, I'm sorry,
Liam.
he was never my favorite, but I'll be nice because he has passed away, and it's mean to speak ill of the dead.
Right.
We're being nice today.
Yes.
So, they originated on The X Factor, which came out in the second half of 2010. And it's like Britain's America's Got Talent, pretty much. And Simon Cowell's on it. And they all auditioned individually, and low-key sucked.
It was bad. I would honestly encourage you to go watch them, because it's really
The auditions
funny.
are online, they're hilarious. I've shown them to her.
It's also good, I think, to see that, because you kind of look at them and you're like, maybe there's hope for me, because...
For real!
They were really bad.
So none of them were going to go on their own, and then I want to say this could be incorrect, but I'm pretty sure there was like a boy band and a girl band. I don't remember who the girl band was, though. And so they're like, hey, you can either be sent home or you can be in this band.
So obviously they'd find the band.
Yeah, and that's how One Direction formed, and then they got signed by Simon after X Factor. Oh, and they lost, still, even after.
Because they were all still pretty bad.
Yeah. They came in third. So that came out in the second half of 2010, which, I mean, actually, I don't know how the X Factor works. It might be live voting, or it might have been pre-recorded. I don't know. But either way, that's not too long before January 2011, when the recording of their first album began. So this wasn't rushed to recording at all.
Right.
You can't tell by the stunning lyrics whatsoever. And that album was released in September 2011. It's up all night. Includes What Makes You Beautiful and One Thing. You've got that one thing.
Wait, their first album has What Makes You Beautiful?
Yes, that would be the reason they had more than one album.
Okay.
Because that was a hit. That was it. Aside from that, there's pretty much nothing you've heard of on this album, unless you're, like, a big fan. This album has always kind of given me Christmas vibes. In the sense that, like, if any of these songs played during a Hallmark movie, I would not question it. Especially, like, I Wish is one of their songs. It is very Christmassy. Just, like, in vibes.
Yeah, right.
In early 2012, they opened for Big Time Rush on their Better With You tour. And I've seen interviews of... First off, I find it hilarious that they were an opening act for someone, let alone Big Time Rush. I love Big Time Rush, but they're not near as popular. And there's interviews where the members of Big Time Rush are talking, they're like, yeah, it was, like, really fun to be on tour with them, but, like, girls kept, like, screaming their names instead of ours, and, like, they wanted to hear their music, and it was our tour.
Look at these guys. Like,
yeah, I mean,
how could you not want
How are you not drooling? So, 2012 is, like, a big year for them. They blew up. I mean, 2011 probably was too, but this is kind of when they got, like, international audience, because they'd done some touring in Britain before the tour with Big Time Rush, I believe. So then, early 2012, they're on this tour. April 2012, they were on iCarly already.
I remember that.
It's an amazing episode. Sorry if I'm spoiling it for you. Which I don't remember ever watching.
I feel like that's not a spoiler, but, like, go what? It's...
Oh, I'm gonna tell them the plot in a second.
Okay, right.
I don't remember, like, ever watching the entirety of this episode, but I must have, because I know the entire plot. So pretty much. The episode before, or maybe this is just knowledge or something, like, the audience knows, though, Carly had jungle worms.
Okay.
Obviously.
It's off to a great start.
And so she's just recovered from jungle worms. Harry drinks out of her water bottle that she had when she was sick, because it has penguins on it, and he likes penguins.
You really remember this in great detail.
I don't know why! jungle worms. Carly is to nurse him back to health. Luckily, jungle worms is pretty much just a mild cold. However, they don't know if he's going to be, like, healthy enough to
perform.
Yeah. And then they realize that Harry's really faking it to get attention from Carly.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're at, like, that smoothie place that they sit sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're talking about what to do. And of course Sam's like, we could pull out the butter sock.
Which, if I remember correctly, is just a sock with, like, a hard stick of butter in it.
I forget who says what part, but Louis and Niall are like, what? Is that a sock made of butter? Yeah. And, like, first, like, we're not using the butter sock, and they're like, wait, like, can we go back to the butter sock? Like, the heck? So they end up having Gibby come out, and he's like, don't even worry, I'll replace Harry. And sing a song for iCarly, because that's why they were there originally. They were going to be guest stars on the web show.
Yeah.
Of course, does a horrible job, and Harry's like, I'm cured!
Yeah, so...
Get off the stage! And then it ends with, like, shoot, I'm blanking on the best friend's name. The not Carly one.
Sam?
Yes. How can I forget that? She's literally the best character.
Literally.
It ends with Sam dragging Zane into their elevator and, like, holding him against his will. It's great.
Yeah, what was the reason they were on iCarly? No one really knows, but...
The point is, they were blowing up!
Yeah.
And they performed What Makes You Beautiful at London's 2012 Summer Olympics closing ceremony in August of that year.
That's
for
fun.
reference of how quickly they were getting popular. Which is also kind of insane. Like, they're still a pretty new band at this point, and London's
How old were they?
Yeah,
like...
you can be at our, like, between 16 and 18 or 19. I can't remember. Louis was the oldest, the others were, like, 16 and 17, I know. I think he might have been 18 or 19. Anywho, that's, like, kind of insane of London to be like, yeah, these guys can just, like, be at our closing ceremony. And people have known who they are for, like, a year max.
Yeah.
Like, if they were a one-hit wonder, that would have not looked very great. Like, remember when One Direction played at the Olympics? Who the heck are they?
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
Obviously that didn't happen, though, because next up we have their Take Me Home album, which was released in November 2012, so a little over a year later. And Up All Night, their first album, has, like, the least songs actually written by members of the band. Like, it's pretty basic. I like some of the songs on it, but it's pretty basic.
Yeah. Take
Me Home's a little bit better, has a little more writing credits. It includes Live While We're Young, They Don't Know About Us, Little Things, and Kiss You. Also, no, they performed for the Queen during this era.
That's really funny.
And there's this awesome photo of them meeting the Queen, just looking as awkward as possible. Cause, like, what are they talking about? What do they have in common with the Queen of England?
I don't really know.
As teenage boys.
That's just such, like, a weird, like... That's, like, a Disney thing that would happen, like, in a Disney show.
Yeah.
Where it'd be like, you guys are so famous, the Queen of England wants to meet you.
Yeah, but it'd be the Queen of some made-up country if it was on Disney. Like,
right, yeah.
The Queen of Kyrgyzstania, who happens to have a British accent, is here.
Right.
But yeah, that made me laugh, though, when I saw that photo, so I wanted to mention
That
it.
is so random. Why does the Queen care about that sort of thing?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I guess if I was a queen, I would make all the boy bands come.
Why does the March Madness winners go to the White House? I don't know, it's just a thing. Like, famous people have to meet the famous country people.
Yeah, I guess.
The famous country rulery people. So then, kind of to promote their next album, I can't really remember, they put out One Direction, This Is Us, the concert experience. It's like a documentary. It was released in August 2013.
So, like, 2
and
years
obviously
after
they were touring and, like, putting out some books and stuff in the meantime. I didn't write that down because I didn't care.
You just had it in your brain anyways.
I have watched this film. It's, like, 75% concert footage, like, just them singing and stuff. And then with random interludes that, like, I don't know what they chose to put in it versus take out, but I'm not sure why they put in it what they did.
Yeah. Well, that happens.
For example, there's a scene of them camping and Louis teaching them how to build a fire.
Why
And not, like, very successfully. Also, Zayn's just spray painting a wall for a while.
Iconic.
Uh-huh.
Because he's
and, like,
a bad
I
boy.
don't
He's
know where this
vandalizing.
wall is or anything. It's never explained. It's inside somewhere.
Makes sense.
So then, Midnight Memories, my favorite album by theirs, comes out. And to generate hype, they had a 1D day on... I didn't write down the date. It's like the 29th of October or something. Let me check. Let's see how far off I was.
I just remember that.
I probably didn't. That's why I'm looking it up. It was November 23rd.
You were wrong.
Did I say 23rd or 26th?
You said October 29th.
Oh. Oh, I said my mom's birthday. Happy early birthday, Mom. It was November
really
23rd, 2013. Yeah, and then Midnight Memories was released later in November 2013, but it was a 7-hour YouTube live stream thing.
Oh.
And they had, like, guest stars on it. Like, it was a whole production.
I guess.
I never bothered to watch this. I'm not that obsessed. I'm sure I could find it on the internet, but... this song, as you'll see, the include sections get longer as we go on because they started having good music.
Yeah.
They have Best Song Ever, Midnight Memories, Story My Life, You and I, Strong, Diana, and Little Black Dress on this album, which, like, ones people might know.
I know, like, some of those.
Slay. Now, this is my favorite album, but it's not the one of theirs that I have on vinyl. And you may be asking why that is. Well, for whatever reason, they only released the single of Midnight Memories on vinyl. It's like the song, not the whole album.
Yeah.
And then on the back, I want to say it's like a special edition of Rock Me from their movie. Yeah, that sounds right. Anywho, it's a really stunning single, though. Like, I'm sure it's expensive, but I low-key want it. Yeah, so I don't know why this decision was made, but the cover of it, and it's a picture disc, too, is all of them dressed as members of a hair band.
Wow.
It's really stunning.
So what? Sorry.
That's Zayn.
Why does it look like he's wearing, like, an Indian headdress?
He looks like a pirate. And I believe he has a bandana on, but I see what you're saying. He looks like he's from, like, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Sorry.
Apparently they couldn't find a blonde wig for Niall, but could find one for Liam. It's just a great look. And Harry's doing, like, a weird Mick Jagger thing. It's great.
Yeah.
Anyways, I have no clue why that decision was made to happen, but it did. And that's a thing that exists. So then 4 came out, ironically, the last album they made with 5 members. And I'm sure I'm the only person who's ever made that joke. It's so original. I do have this on vinyl. My grandma gave it to me for my birthday a few years ago.
Oh.
It has Steal My Girl, 18, and Fireproof on it. Also, one of my personal favorite songs by them, Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh boy.
Mildly concerning.
Yeah, if you've ever wanted to listen to kind of a creepy song, you should pick that one by them.
What happened to the back of this?
I don't
Sorry,
know.
the jacket of it's, like, all scratched up.
Because I fear that Stockholm Syndrome does in fact relate to a lot of their audience, which is probably, like, middle school, early, like, high school girls, because
Wattpad girlies went off after Stockholm Syndrome. They loved
fantasize
it.
about being kidnapped, bought, and
Although,
just,
TBH,
like,
this is kind of a gender
fitted around
bend,
by boy
because
bands.
we'll talk about that, girl. But, Stockholm Syndrome, pretty much, it's Harry Styles singing most of it. And also, he has a writing credit, which he didn't have a lot. Liam and Louis wrote the most of their stuff, and I must say Zayn and Harry wrote the least. So don't worry, this was straight from his brain. And, like, 4 other people's, because they had an insane amount of writing credits on all their songs. But, anywho, it's about, like, him, or, like, you know, the protagonist, getting kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
And falling in love with the guy that kidnapped, or girl that kidnapped them.
Yeah, which, you know...
Is a choice to make a song about. And, well, after it came out, like, there was a theory that it was about their management, because One Direction fans also hate their management. They thought they were, like, evil and, like, manipulating the boys.
They were probably just, like, kids.
The management?
No, the band members.
Yeah, like, they probably needed some direction.
One Direction.
Anyway, so they were like, so an interviewer asked him one time, he's like, so is this, like, about, like, your management and feeling, like, strangled by them? He's like, no, it's about a girl.
Which is, like, honestly worse, I think.
Okay, like, we gave you an out, hun. I love it, though. I think it's hilarious. It's such a random song for them to have made. And it's low-key hits. So, during the tour for 4, Zayn leaves the band. I know, shocker.
It's the bad boy. He should have gone to Camp Rock. That's what they did with Shane Gray, and it
We were
worked.
talking earlier today, we're like, oh, why don't we go to Camp Rock as kids? It would have been so awesome.
Yeah, would have been. We probably could have been in a band right now.
Yes!
We probably could have met Connect 3, aka DJ
Yes.
They probably would have fallen in
We
love
wouldn't even
with
have to
us.
pay to go to their concert.
No, they would just, like, probably invite us on stage.
You should move in a little. You're kind of out of the frame.
I don't know, I'm just, yeah. That's fair.
Anywho, so Zayn leaves during this tour. And I remember when this happened. I want to say we were in, like, 2nd or 3rd grade. No one do that math because I could be wrong. But I think we were in, like, 2nd grade. Because, although I was not a One Direction fan when they were actually together, one of my friends was, because she had older sisters who liked them. And she was so mad. Like, I remember people being mad about this. Like, she was ready to kill him if she ever met him. Like, throw hands. And she was a 2nd grader. So I can't imagine the teens were thrilled.
Probably not.
It turns out, like, the reason he left the band was, like, I mean, some different stuff since that over the years, but, like, the main one was that, like, he didn't really like boy bandy music.
That would
He's
be,
like,
yeah.
I had, like, no input in what we were actually making. And B,
fair.
like, touring gave him a lot of anxiety.
Oh, poor guy.
So on top of that, already struggling with his mental health, likely, now you have hundreds of thousands, probably, of teen girls that just, like,
Hate you.
want to kill you. Don't get me wrong, there were plenty that were supportive of him the whole time, but I know there were a lot that weren't. And he didn't tour for a long time. I want to say, like, a year or 2 ago, he started touring again.
Dang. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. So then, now they're a 4-piece, and Made in the AM comes out, which, like, I feel like this one got some, like less praise. Like, people didn't like this album as much, but I think it's good. It was released in...
Zayn was in there.
Okay, I wrote it was released in November 2014, but it's def 2015. The last one came out in November 2014. And it includes Drag Me Down, which is the one, for whatever reason, they made a music video with, like, NASA. Like, I want to say they were at a NASA place and stuff.
You know, because you can't drag them down. Huh?
Yeah, they had, like, astronaut costumes
There's
on
no
and
gravity.
stuff. And Harry has a really cool jacket on in that. I want that jacket. It has, like, blue roses embroidered all over it. It's very pretty. Anywho, it has Drag Me Down, Perfect History, and AM. And then they announced that they're going on hiatus in 2016 to never return. Because the original plan was they were going to return and tour that album.
So,
and they never did.
Wait, so that was 2016, right?
Yes.
So they were really only, like, an actual band for, like, 4 years? 4 or 5 years?
Yes. And they put out 5 albums in that time. It wasn't rushed at all.
Kind of...
Insane?
When you think about it, yeah.
Yes.
A little bit crazy.
Yeah. And they were, like, doing stadium tours and stuff. It was crazy.
Probably is a lot for some, teenage boys.
Yeah. I mean, teenage girls would kill it, but
Oh,
I
we
see
could
how
totally do that. So.
I see how it could get the best of boys.
Yeah. We're not, yeah.
So, okay, I did kind of speed through that, but I don't think it was that interesting for most people. Something I did want to touch on more was just, like, the fandom in general, and fandom culture in general, because it's something that I've always found interesting.
Yeah.
Because, not just in One Direction, but a lot of music fandoms, and especially boy bands, it's like we live in a society where everyone hates whatever teen girls like,
Yeah.
and whatever they think. But, like, I don't know, this is, like, a situation where they have, like, all the power for once, because, like, obviously, the boy band's the one making money or whatever, but they're, like, useless without girls being obsessed with them and stuff.
True.
And there's good and bad to this, which we'll get to. But firstly, how I was introduced to One Direction. like I mentioned, like, second grade, I did have a friend that liked One Direction. However, I was deep in my, I don't like other girls phase.
Right.
So I didn't like them. And she told me that she wasn't going to be my friend unless I started liking them. And I remember, because obviously you have, like, 10 mediators when you have a fight in second grade. So, like, all our other friends were, like, walking back and forth at recess talking to us. And they're like, I think you really just need to lie to her and say you're a fan. Because otherwise you're never going to be friends again. I was like, I have to stay true to myself. Honestly, looking back, she was totally valid. Like,
oh, yes.
And then, of course, because we're in second grade, like, the next day she came back to school, she's like, I'm so sorry. I was talking to my mom about it, and she told me I was being a brat, and she was totally right, and can we be friends again? And it was fine.
Yeah.
And, like, my sister's friend had their poster on her wall, like, less ironically than I do. But that was really it. Like, I remember when they were a thing, but the only one I could have picked out of a lineup was Harry.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just because his hair was very distinguishable.
This is true.
I don't remember when they broke up necessarily, other than I just remember my friend being very mad. And still saying it was Zayn's fault, and she was gonna kill Zayn.
Poor Zayn.
So then, in, like, middle school is when I actually got into One Direction. And it was, like, 8th grade, I think. Because in 8th grade I realized I really like boys.
Honestly, same.
I mean, yeah, I think it's common. And I was just like, I need, like, music that... I didn't listen to that much music before middle school, honestly. I was just like, I need media that, like...
speaks to that.
Yeah, like,
yes,
tells me how I'm feeling right now. Because I had no clue what I was feeling. It was a mess.
Teenage boys know exactly how middle school
girls
feel.
Think this is why a lot of girls like boy bands. Because, like, don't get me wrong, they're not perfect. Like, Little Black Dress is literally referring to a girl by what she's wearing. It's not the best. But for the most part, like, their songs are just, like, about, like, oh, like, we love this girl, and, like, we're respecting her, and, like... being a good boyfriend.
Yeah, with a couple exceptions.
Yes, it's like, it's doing the minimum on one hand, but also, like, that's not in media, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see. So I remember really liking that and listening to them a ton, like, in 8th grade. But I was kind of ashamed in 8th grade, like, because it wasn't a thing. Like, people weren't listening to One Direction in, 2020? Yeah.
Yeah, because that was COVID year.
Yep. And then my freshman year, I already knew her, but I became friends with Grace. Double shout out to Grace, you slay.
Yes, Grace.
And she was obsessed with Harry Styles, and I remember we were going to the National Catholic Youth Conference, and I had my earbuds in, and she asked me what I was listening to, and I was like, oh, One Direction, oh, like, I don't even like them that much. She's like, well, I think they're great. And I was like, oh, okay, I do too. And the summer between freshman and sophomore year especially, we became very good friends. And she introduced me more to Harry Styles. We listened to a lot more One Direction. And it was just fun. And, like, I do think a misconception people have about, like, a lot of fandoms probably is just, like, oh, like, you want to, like, have sex with all of them. And you're, like, in love with them. It's just, like, I don't know. I just feel like, oh, it'd be cool to hang out with them. Like, they seem fun.
Like a fever dream, honestly, yeah.
Yeah. But, like, I'd totally hang out with Harry Styles. Why not? He sounds fun. And I think that's,
I feel like he'd say something weird.
Oh, he would. He'd be so weird, but it'd be fun. It'd be a good time. And I think that's, like, how a lot of people feel. There definitely are the crazed fans that are like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have your babies. But...
yeah, or, like, POV, you walk downstairs after putting your hair in a mushy bun and
your mom just sold you
to One Direction.
For drug money. Like, it's not everyone who likes the band, I'd like to clarify. If, I have some book recommendations, because when I was really into boy bands, I also read, like, every book featuring boy bands I could find. Which there aren't enough of either!
She's just a little obsessed.
Yeah.
It could have been worse, okay?
Yeah, I could have done drugs.
That's true.
But I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman kind of... focuses on, like, the funner side of fandoms and just being, like, it's a way to, like, hang out with people over a shared interest and have it's fun. Like, that one does talk about obsession a little bit, but not as much as the other book I'll get to in a second. So that being said, like, it's fun and harmless. There is definitely a dark side to fandoms, especially, I think,
Wattpad.
One Direction, because they were kind of like the first group where the internet was big. Like, obviously the internet had been around since like the 90s, but like social media and stuff.
Yeah, but it definitely wasn't quite the same.
So like one of the ways they first got popular was they had like live streams and video diaries while they were on the X Factor, and people kind of got to see them interacting, like their friendships were like, oh, like they seem fun, like I said. But I don't think people understood like how big they would become because of the internet, and like now you don't just get to fangirl with like your friends, you can talk to people all over the world that have this shared interest. So here's some examples of things that happened. Fans hacked into Auckland airport security cameras in like 2012 or 2013.
Oh my gosh.
And just watched them sit there for a couple hours and like sleep and like do things that people do at airports.
That's crazy.
Another girl stole Liam's boxers in Sydney in 2013. They were like sitting out to
that's
dry.
Like really gross, actually.
Yeah, they were like laying out to dry on his balcony. And not gonna lie, I didn't try that hard, but from what I could find, no charges were pressed in either of these cases. Because, like I was saying, like at the end of the day, people are like, oh, it's like teen girls, like they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like they're harmless. It's like, no, they broke into an airport security system.
Wow.
That's insane. First off, if teenage girls can hack into your airport security system,
that's kind of on you.
You might need to give that a look.
I don't know, maybe teenage girls are just like the best.
They were committed, let me tell you. So yeah, I think their fandom kind of just showed like what happens when all these teen girls come together.
Yeah.
And it's not always good. Some good stuff came of it and some not so good. And, like, with the boxers thing, like, Liam talked about it on Twitter. He's like, oh, LOL, like, someone stole my underwear. Because you can't be that upset about it because it's your fans, you know?
Right, yeah.
So it looks bad if you're like, guys, this is really messed up, even though it clearly is.
Yeah.
And, of course, there were, like, streets shut down from people, like, when they'd come to a town, girls would be, like, storming the streets and stuff.
Oh, my gosh.
And, like, crowds outside
That's
every
insane.
hotel room. Yeah. So this is giving more of Kill the Boy Band by Goldie Moldavsky, which is another book that explores more of the dark side of fandoms. In it, pretty much, there's these girls that are obsessed with this band, The Ruperts, which I find hilarious. The Ruperts would never be famous. But pretty much it's like 5 guys whose names are all Rupert. Would never trend.
Hey, you never know.
I'm pretty confident. But they all stay at the hotel that this band's staying at. Because they can't get concert tickets, and they're like trying to figure out how to get concert tickets. And they end up kidnapping one of the members of the boy band.
Oh my gosh.
And at least one of the members dies in the book, is, like, murdered.
Rupert number 3!
And it's all, like, told in this, like, very darkly humorous way. It's like, he's dead! Oh no, lol! Like, how did that happen?
Darn it, we accidentally killed him.
Not again!
Shoot.
And I am gonna spoil it, so if you actually want to read this book, I would recommend it. It was fun. Skip ahead, like, 20 or 30 seconds or whatever. But, at the end of the book, the main character feels really bad, and she goes to the cops and tells them everything that happened, and they're like, no, it didn't. Like, come on, you're like the 5th girl today that said that they were the cause of it, and that you broke into the hotel room and stuff. Actually. Like, come on. You're a teen girl. Like, this didn't happen. Which, once again, is just showing, like, what I was saying. It's just, like, because the thing is,
We're just
I think that would totally happen.
I guess.
I think that could totally have happened.
I think it's possible.
It's I think fandom cultures are very interesting. They definitely have not great aspects to them,
but they definitely kind of, like, feed into each other's delusions.
Oh, yes. Yes. That's why the internet getting involved made it so much bigger and at times worse. I think there's really great stuff in them too, but that's not as interesting. It's not as entertaining.
No.
So that gets us into the fan base's favorite conspiracy theory, Larry Stylinson.
Oh, goodness.
Which is the theory that Louis and Harry, because they were really good friends, are secretly dating. Well, we're secretly dating. And management wouldn't let them come out.
One of the theories is actually that they were married.
I'll get to that. So management wouldn't let them come out because they thought, like, people wouldn't like it.
Yeah, right.
Because it was, like, 2013 or whatever. So fans were like, let's make it very obvious we are in support of this.
Yeah.
Which, we love the allyship. However, it was quite misguided. Mainly because they weren't actually together.
Hey, we don't know that for sure.
I'm pretty confident they both denied it publicly multiple times.
Doesn't always,
and also, they're both in their 30s now. I feel like they can kind of do whatever they want. Especially Harry. His management isn't telling him anything, clearly. He does whatever he wants already.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to come out, this would have happened. So let's say they are together. They clearly don't want you to know about it. Get over it. But they're also not. So, yeah, so, like, this was harmless at first, and they'd, like, make jokes in interviews about dating and stuff, which, like, isn't that weird? Like, I feel like a lot of friends do that.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd be offended if someone wasn't shipping us together if we were famous.
Yeah, honestly. Please ship us.
But it got to the point, like, anytime one of them had a girlfriend, like, they would just get so much hate online, because, like, they're being paid by the management, and they're totally going along with this, and, like, like, Louis especially had a girlfriend named Eleanor that the fans hated.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, like they were, like I said, it got to a not great place. And like, Louis had a kid named Freddie with Brianna Jungworth, which is like a stylist, I want to say. That was her job. Anywho, people were like, that's fake. Like, just wait, she's gonna have a miscarriage. Which is such a horrible thing to say about someone who's pregnant.
That is wild.
But once again, it's just people on the internet that are, like, going unchecked and not really thinking about, like, they're teen girls. They are teenagers. And they're not thinking things through. And they're not thinking of actual consequences of what they're saying or doing.
Yeah.
Although apparently there are none, because you can break into the Auckland airport and it's all good.
Not that big a deal.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Also, I was on Wikipedia earlier this week, on the conspiracy theories Wikipedia, for a different reason. But that's not relevant. This is, like, mentioned on it.
Really?
Yeah. People shipping them together and thinking that they're in a secret relationship. It's under, like, pop culture, like, celebrities or something. The only other one that's on there is Gaylor, which is, like, that Taylor Swift is secretly gay. Unfortunately, that one has lost a lot of traction in the last year.
Unfortunately.
Pretty hard for the Gaylors out there. But yeah, so as you mentioned earlier, people not only think that they were together, they think that they're secretly married. And have been since 2013.
Which would have been
13 years ago.
Yeah. So they would have been, once again, between the ages of...
They'd have been like 18 and 19 or 20. Yeah.
Which is still very, very young to get married, in general.
Gay marriage was legalized in the U.S. in 2015, so it would have just been a civil thing, but...
Yeah.
Because obviously that's...
Yeah.
That's the important clarifier here. So why do people think this? Well, there was a series of tweets on September 29th, 2013. Obviously, their anniversary.
Yes.
I'm sorry, this is so dumb. So Harry posted, "We don't need no piece of paper from the city hall." Yeah.
I fear...
Sounds like a gay marriage before gay marriage was legalized, right? That's the only thing you could be talking about.
Obviously.
The same day, Ed Sheeran wrote, "My best friend is getting married today. Mega awesome, wicked cool."
Because
By the way,
obviously-
Mega Awesome Wicked Cool is one sentence with no commas, and I love it. We need to say
Because
that.
obviously Ed Sheeran and Harry Styles are best friends.
We'll get to it. Then, Harry's mom, Ann Twist, posted, "Good decision, Louis."
Whoa!
So, let's break this down. First off, I mean, I don't know what good decision Louis meant. It could have been that he decided to marry her son. Although, if I'm getting married to someone and their parents just post, "Good decision," I'm gonna be a bit underwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I don't know about the others. They might have been taken down as well. The Ed Sheeran one was later taken down because he's like, guys, it's not about that. Like, stop making it about that. Mm-hmm. It was a different friend. I like the phrasing, "my best friend." So, he was seen with the members of One Direction several times. He was probably friends with them. But only one of them, apparently.
Yeah.
Only Harry or Louis he was best friends with.
Not both of them.
And obviously it was one of them. He was seen with them several times. They were clearly best friends.
Yes.
Now for Harry's. I will admit, that's a weird thing to post on Twitter. However, everything Harry Styles has ever posted has been weird. Here are some other Harry Styles, of my favorite Harry Styles tweets. "Everyone has a Titanic for the first time face. Chocolate coin problems." Couldn't tell you what that's supposed to mean. "Playing top 10 fruits with my mates." That's not a game. Like, that's not relatable. People don't know what you're talking about, dude. "I scream, you scream. We all scream." So in other words, I don't think this man's ever logged into Twitter sober.
Maybe he was, I was gonna say, he might have been, like, under influence when he wrote
Although,
all of these.
To be fair, those all came out later, so clearly he was covering his tracks. He's
Obviously,
like, people are onto us. I have to put all this other crap on my Twitter.
When you get secretly married to somebody, you post about it, but you also don't want people to know about it, so after you, like...
Because his management definitely wouldn't have access and probably be in control of his Twitter. Obviously not. Because the thing is, they wanted to come out, but the management wouldn't let them.
Right, yeah.
So obviously, the management wouldn't have control of that. Of his Twitter, and it makes sense that you would post that.
Obviously.
Also, like, people, like, point to stuff in, like, interviews, and, like, they're like, guys, like... If they were actually together and they were supposed to be hiding it, like, first off, they wouldn't be getting questions about it in interviews. It'd be on, like, their blacklisted questions.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing that you can do. You can say, like, oh, don't ask me questions about this, this, and this. And, like, it wouldn't be getting out there. Like, it just wouldn't. But, yeah, they're clearly married.
Obviously. I mean, just look at them.
Yeah, Harry hasn't said that much about this. Louis is, like, very against this conspiracy theory. He's like, guys, this is so dumb. It's disrespectful to, like, every girlfriend I've had.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are low-key really rude.
I feel like Harry doesn't care that much about his girlfriends.
Yeah.
No offense, Harry, but, like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
something about Harry Styles just doesn't scream, like, amazing boyfriend material to me.
What? You mean how he, like, kissed Taylor Swift's friend during the month they were dating and then left her on a cruise?
No.
On a yacht, sorry.
I don't know, it's just the vibe I get,
Because that is a thing that happened. He left her on a cruise when they were on vacation together. Sorry, yacht, I keep saying cruise. Anywho, so there was photos of her being sad on a yacht alone. Because he just, like, went home.
That's...
Yeah, he just, like, left the trip. He, like, went home.
Great.
Yeah,
Love
I
that
can't
for
imagine
him.
he's a great boyfriend. But that's okay.
Yeah, maybe
And then-
he was for Louis.
Yeah, you mean his husband?
Right, yeah. Duh. Obviously.
Yeah. We're getting... We've spent far too much time on this. It's a really dumb conspiracy theory and people need to stop.
It's kind of funny to think about, though.
It is, but, the main other things I wanted to touch on were just, Louis' album that came out, because that was a big reason we filmed this, and Harry's single that came out. I would say this is probably Louis' best album that he's released. Something about Louis that makes me laugh is, like, every album that comes out, he's like, guys, like, I feel like I wasn't brave enough in the last album. And, like, this is the album, like, in this one, in some interviews, like, this is the album I always deserved to make or something.
Mm.
So, this is like low-key throwing shade on your past music.
It's because he's not with Harry anymore.
Just shut up!
Harry, like he couldn't make the music
Yeah,
he wanted to
his
because
muse
of that.
was... Yeah, shut up.
No, that's fine. I'm glad he's improving, you know what? And
he is. I will say, he backs it up. Each album, I would say, has gotten better.
We love how confident
but I just
he
find
is
it funny that, like, every album is like,
single
no,
time.
guys, this is the album. This is the album. I will say, Louis is probably the best lyricist out of the group. I want to say he wrote the most songs all there in One Direction. It was him or Liam. I think they were pretty close, but I think he did. He's probably one of the worst vocalists. He's definitely a tenor, which just takes some getting used to, because I feel like there aren't that many tenors that are really popular in music. Like guys with higher voices. Also, his accent comes through a lot when he's singing, which also takes some getting used to. That's probably just me wanting everyone to sound like an American, though, so that might be a personal problem. But I would say this is probably his best album. I thought it was really fun. There is some sad stuff about, like, his relatives that have died, and Liam, of course, which was to be expected. I mean, if someone who's your friend very, like, publicly passes away, I feel like it kind of looks bad if you don't have some tribute to them. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it was very heartfelt. I think it was very good.
Did Harry do anything?
We don't know yet. He's only released a really bizarre single, which we'll get to. But no, I thought it was really good. I thought it was fun. My favorite songs from the album were probably Dark to Light or Sunflowers. It's obviously about Harry Styles. Because,
obviously,
you know, he has Sunflower Volume 6. They do that a lot, too. Like, when they have, like, song titles that are similar, like, oh, they're clearly together.
Obviously.
And they also think they have, like, 10 sets of matching tattoos. Because, like, one of them has a rope and the other has an anchor.
Oh my goodness.
And stuff like that. Like, very common tattoos to get. They're like, oh, they go together. They're couples.
Obviously.
Moving on, though. Harry's single, Aperture, came out. Yep. You haven't watched the music video. You need to. Yeah. It's weird as heck. Like, Harry Styles' music videos are always off the rails. Even for his standard, I have no clue what was supposed to be happening. It's so bizarre. The music itself, I'd give it a C. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it could have been worse.
Based on what we know about the album, like the cover and everything, it wasn't shocking.
Yeah.
The whole aesthetic's kind of giving minimal effort. I was texting Grace, though, and she was, like, very upset. She's like, she's like, I miss his old music. This sucks. The rest of this album has to be better than this single, please. It's just, it's one of those songs where it's, like, all kind of light and, like, soft and mushy, and there's nothing to hold on to.
I think it's okay to have it, but not, like, to be, like, the defining, like...
Yeah, like, I don't know why it's a single.
I released first. Like, this one is really good.
Yeah, it's not promising. But hopefully the rest is better.
Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
But it is ironic because he takes forever. Like, he took very
That's
long.
another thing. I feel like if he put this out a year after Harry's House, no one... Like, it wouldn't be that big of a deal if it wasn't great. Okay. But he's had 4 years. Like, there's no excuse.
Like, it should be good.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you're rich and famous, I guess you can kind of afford to do whatever you want.
Anywho, sorry, I haven't edited this, but I'm guessing it's going to be quite a long episode, so sorry about that. We should probably wrap it up.
Sounds good. Do we want to do our recommendations for this episode?
Yeah, I have one, do you?
I think so.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, so my recommendation, it kind of has to do with... So if you watched our last episode, sorry, I'm, like, in the dark. If you watched our last episode, you'd know that I was going on a mission trip. Like, it's more of like a service trip to Mission, Texas to help build houses for people. And so my recommendation to you is if you have the opportunity to go on something like that, to 100% like go and try it, because it's just a great experience. It's really eye-opening, I think, and like, I don't know, it's just a very, very good experience to go and like kind of, I don't know, spread God's love to people like we're supposed to do. It was a really fun time. I can basically build a house now. I know how to do, like, all the house things, like insulation, shingling, and
I told her, I'm like, Kirsten, I'm sorry, but if someone told me, you're getting a new house, and Kirsten's building it, sure, I'd be that thrilled, but go off.
Anyways, it was a great time. Yeah, and it was warm there. Well, it was really cold here, so that was a plus.
Well,
but yeah, that's my recommendation.
Mine's less important. Like, good messagey. But I've listened to his music before, but I just recently got like really back into and like really into Luke Hemming's solo music, and I thought that kind of went this episode because like different boy band. If you don't know, he's lead singer of 5 Seconds of Summer.
Mm-hmm.
He put out an EP in 2024. It's okay. I really love the album he put out in 2021, When Facing the Things You Turn Away From. It's kind of about like quarantine and just all the things that you kind of had to face that were going through his head at the time. Because he's like finally,
a lot of stuff goes through his head.
He's quite dramatic.
He's an emotional guy.
But I really like a lot of the songs on it. It kind of gives Harry Styles' debut album vibes, if you've listened to that. Like, some of my favorite songs are like Come Down, Repeat, Diamonds. I don't know. I've really been into his music right now, though. So I thought that would be my recommendation.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay.
Comment your favorite boy band or boy band member song or something. You know, do the things.
All
down
the things.
below. Yeah, thanks for watching and putting up with us.
Yeah, thank you for listening. And
with this topic I'm sure you all cared about. I did.
Yes.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Sophie is very knowledgeable.
I was.
Goodbye.